Here's what most of us do. We open Safari, type the same website we typed yesterday, search for the same thing we searched last week, and keep 20 tabs open because we are scared to lose our place. We treat Safari as a blank address bar. But your Mac Safari is not just a place where you type websites. It can turn the sites you use every day into something faster, cleaner, and more organized. No downloads, no extra apps. It is already there. Let me show you. First thing, look at your dock. It's probably full of apps you barely open, while the websites you actually use every day are hidden behind typing, searching, and old bookmarks. Let's fix that. Take the one site you open more than any other, maybe YouTube, your email, a news site, or your work portal. Click on Share button, then Add to Dock. Give it a name. Add, and there it is, sitting in your dock like any other app. In one click, the site opens in its own dedicated window. But one thing to be straight about. This makes what Apple calls a web page. It's the website in its own window. It is not like a full native app. In many cases, it can keep the same website session. But that depends on the site. For the sites you access every day, it is perfect. Do that for your 3 or 4 daily sites. And I can assure you, your morning just got already better. Now the one that quietly fixes the mess most people live with. Right now, everything shares one Safari. Work, shopping, banking, personal browsing, all tangled together. Same history, same tabs, same suggestions. Safari can keep them all separate. And that's called profiles. Click Safari, Settings, Profiles, Add. Make one for work, one for personal. Each keeps its own tabs, its own favorites, its own history. So your work links and your weekend browsing stays much more clearly separated. It's the same Safari, just finally keeping your world apart. This one's quick. You know why you keep 20 tabs open? Because you're afraid you will lose your place if you close them. So from now on, save them as a tab group. Make a right click on each tab. Move them to tab group. Create a new tab group. Give it a name. Shopping, research, trip planning, social media, that project you keep returning to. You can create multiple tab groups under both profiles. Save together, out of your way. One click to reopen. And finally, you can close the window without panic. Here's a quick bonus for anyone who opens the same handful of websites every morning. Open Shortcuts app. Create shortcut, give it a name. Daily sites, morning brief. Search for action, open URLs. Now drag it to action board. Click URL to fill one by one in the sequence you want. Now make a right click to change color and icon and add it to dock. And that's it. Now all your websites, every morning, just one shortcut, one click away. You open a website, click an article, and it's a wall of ads, pop-ups. Click on Page Menu button on left of address field. When Reader is available, turn it on. And it's mostly just words, bigger, cleaner, your choice of size and background. No ads, no chaos. Now here's the small one that saves you real time. You are on a long page, an article, a support doc, a page of results, and you're hunting for one word or one line. Don't scroll for it. Instead, ask Safari to find it for you. Press Command F on your keyboard or Site Setting button. Find on page. Now type the word, and Safari highlights every place it appears and lets you jump straight to each one on a long page that turns 2 minutes of scrolling into 2 seconds. Now Reader is great, but sometimes Reader hides something you actually wanted, or you just need to clean up one part of the page before you print it or save it. For that, Safari has something more surgical. Under Site Settings, click Hide Distracting Items. Now point and click on anything that's in your way. A banner, a pop-up, an ad. One click and it's gone. And honestly, how useful it is before you print or save the page. It feels more satisfying to clear them all out. A small habit that saves you a real trouble later. Some web pages are not really websites. They are records, an order confirmation, an appointment page, the type of thing you'll want a proof of long after the tab is gone. So save them as a PDF. Click File, Export as PDF, Save. You can also click Print and then save as a PDF. That also works. Now it's a clean permanent record you have on your Mac. This is not a link that might expire. Now the one a lot of people know but never tried. There's always that one site. Too small text, autoplays video the second it loads. Most people go and change Safari settings for everything, while the real problem is only one website. Click on Page Menu button. Right here, just for this site, adjust the zoom level so the text is always bigger. Website settings, stop it auto playing video. Decide if it can use your camera, microphone, or location services. Also enable at the top if you like to see this website always in reader mode. You set it once for that one site, and every other site stays exactly as it is. And that's the difference between changing your whole browser settings and fixing the only site that needed it. Here's one more. You're reading something on your iPhone, and now you want it on your Mac. You don't need to email or airdrop it to yourself. Open Safari sidebar. Expand iCloud tabs. And there are the pages open on your iPhone and iPad, ready to pick up. Enable iCloud Tab Sync on your Mac if not done yet. I must tell you, this works when both the devices are enabled with the same Apple account and Safari is enabled in iCloud. Also, sometimes it may take a moment to appear. One last thing, and it's a quiet one that matters. As you move around the web, advertisers try to follow you from site to site, and they can see your IP address, roughly where you are. Safari can block most of that. Click on Safari, Settings, Privacy, turn on Prevent Cross-Site Tracking, Hide IP Address. Together, they make it much harder for advertisers to follow you around. 2 switches, and your everyday browsing is quietly more private. I must also add, it will not make you completely invisible. Nothing does, but it closes the easy doors that most trackers rely on. Now and then, you will hit a site, a work portal, an older system that just behaves better somewhere else. And that's fine. Keep one other browser on your Mac for that kind of moments. So here's what we have learned about Safari today. A site you open every morning. Put it in your dock. Work and home tangle together. Create profiles. Pile of tabs you are scared to close. Save them as a tab group. A cluttered article to read. Enable reader mode. Printing or saving a page. Hide the distracting items. A page you will need later. Save it as PDF. One site that misbehaves. Give it its own settings. Want your browsing more private? Turn on cross-site tracking protection and hide your IP. None of this is new. It's been sitting inside of Safari the whole time. Most of us never try to learn it. But today, you did. Anyways, if you're ready to step up, here's the next one. And before you click, hit that like button, subscribe Crazy Editors for future tech tips, tricks, and solutions. Until next time, you take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next one.